It's the KC Arts Beat Report. I'm Patrick Neas. If you're like me, you enjoy relaxing from time to time, uh, chilling in front of a game console and just, zoning out playing some great video games. And video games by themselves are fun, but one of the things that makes them so much fun are the soundtracks. And we're going to be talking to Clint Ashlock, who's the artistic director of the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra. They have a really intriguing concert coming up called Level Up on April 5th at the Muriel Kauffman Theatre. It's all video game music, believe it or not. We're going to talk to him about that. But first, I'd like to ask you to please like and subscribe to the KC Arts Beat YouTube channel. Please like the video. And also, please follow us on Facebook, where every day we have all kinds of great and interesting information about the arts. We celebrate the birthdays of great composers, writers, filmmakers, and musicians. So be sure to follow us there too. And now it's time to say hello to our good friend Clint Ashlock, who, by the way, provides the theme music for the KC Arts Beat Report. And we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty cool that you wanted to use it. Thank you so much for sharing our music.
It works out perfectly. I think it matches our logo just perfectly. So, but anyway, you do so many interesting concerts. This is one of the most interesting, a whole program of video game music. A lot of people who don't know a lot about video games might think that video game soundtracks are just beep beep bloop bloop, but it's a lot more than that, especially nowadays, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, really, if you think of music as being melodies, harmonies, and rhythms, I mean, you can go back to 8-bit, you know, the Nintendo classics and find great expressions of those three components of music. And then, yeah, I mean, up to today where everything is so cinematic in nature, like the series The Last of Us, that's I think is it on HBO, I think, or Max or whatever it's called. The music was so cinematic in the video game that the soundtrack to the score to the TV show is just the same exact music pretty much. So yeah, I mean an expression of melody, harmony, and rhythm, and it's a veritable gold mine of expressions of those things in the now what 40 years of kind of video games being in the mainstream. So
Wow. So how far back do you go with the music that you're going to be performing? I mean, how soon do they start doing interesting things with music, I guess?
well, I mean, so the very first at least I don't know which one came out for I'm pretty sure Super Mario Brothers is the oldest. Um, and that really just that first Super Mario Brothers game on the Nintendo, the original NES, um, it's just ripe with themes. The classic ba 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 da ba da, like that thing. Um, and then the little nuggets. So I did an arrangement of Super Mario Brothers for our band, and the majority of the arrangement is like it's like a New Orleans, like don't go, and then like we have a New Orleans like a small group vibe going on, a lot of collective improvisation, and then some ensemble courses. But I mean, it like lends itself so well. And you think about, when Louis Armstrong in that era of musicians were diving into the music of Gershwin and expressing it, through the jazz medium. I mean, it's like this music is older at this point. I mean, 1985, it's older, it's 40 whatever years old. And so it's older than the music that the early jazz masters were borrowing from. And it's just as malleable. I mean, like that Super Mario Brothers theme is just full of I hate that I'm about to say this, but like jazzable nuggets.
Uh-huh.
Um, So yeah, so I mean, from that, Legend of Zelda came out around the same time, the 85, 86, or whatever that was. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Marcus Lewis is arranging Mike Tyson's Punch Out for the band.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then I don't remember when Castlevania 3 came out. I would assume maybe in the later 80s, but that has a beautiful theme that Ryan Heinlein is arranging for the big band. So we have a lot. I mean, most of the stuff that we're playing is, new arrangements. But I've got a couple things from the 8-bit big band, which is a really popular jazz big band.
And this is a
And
devoted to video game music, isn't it? The 8-bit big band?
Yeah, totally devoted to it. And so I've got a couple charts from them that we're going to play. Trying to think, and then yeah, on up to today, The Last of Us. I turned that into like a bembe, like a Latin jazz thing. Animal Crossing has had some great music over the years, and so I did a medley of that. What else do we have? Paul Roberts arranged like the Me shopping channel from the Nintendo Wii and some Mario Kart. Yeah, it should be a blast.
Uh-huh. As I understand, I have a couple of CDs of music that was just written for video games, but it's more on the cinematic end. A lot of
Sure.
Japanese composers, very
Yep.
sweeping. Are you going to do any of that, or is it going to be more old school video game music?
So yeah, the like the oh, what's his name that did the Final Fantasy games? Nobu. That's some I can't remember his name. But you know, you can see that like with the symphonic expression, like the Kansas City Symphony, I think has done some stuff like that, or maybe it's a traveling orchestra that comes through. Um, Stardew Valley, there's some things that are very orchestral in nature. I tried to not do any of those for
Uh-huh.
this concert. Um, Mostly I looked for things that could be, arranged for a big band. I mean, which you could certainly do that with the Final Fantasy themes and everything, but I try to look for things that were a little bit more melody and hook based for sure. I mean, but then like I took the Sonic the Hedgehog, the original like first level, the Green Hill Zone, and did kind of I don't know, like almost a lo-fi like groove in the middle of that. But yeah, yeah. I mean, there's just so much that you can do, and certainly a jazz band, a big band, can be utilized for more orchestral expression. But I just didn't want to do that for this concert because it's already there for orchestras.
Right. It's a whole different, almost a whole different genre of music, that more
Yeah, it's
symphonic.
beautiful though. Oh my
It
goodness,
is.
it's so
It
beautiful.
is. No, I
Yeah,
don't know if people realize how some of the most gorgeous classical music today is being written for video games. The
it
most,
really is.
yeah, romantic stuff, but also fun stuff like what you're going to be doing. Now, is there going to be a visual element to your concert?
We have uh, a very small staff
Uh-huh.
at the jazz orchestra, so we have to create anything that we use, which is a little intimidating. And also it's on us to figure out what the licensing issues are to use anything, and we wanted to project video games behind us on the screen as we're playing.
Uh-huh.
But we got a little nervous because, Sony or whoever comes after you, you're like,
Uh-huh.
so, but yeah, we do have a screen. We've got a couple things that we're going to do, um, to bring some visual components into it. But it's something that, if there are any lawyers listening that want to lend their services for licensing, we could sure use the help to figure out what we can and cannot do.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just, I feel like Phil Hartman. I'm just a caveman, but yeah, but we do have a few things that I think that we've got squared away that we're going to put up on the screen behind us. Yeah.
Just as with your Charlie Brown Christmas concert, this sounds like another one that'll be great for the whole family.
I mean, it definitely will be. Um, I think the biggest struggle for us and really any other arts organization, big or small, is just um, getting the event in front of people so that they know that it's happening. Um, and I think that this one is certainly a little more niche than a Christmas Charlie Brown concert.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it's something that I think we could do. Most of KCJO's shows, we just do one time and then it's over. Like we never do it again.
Yeah.
And this one would be one that I think we could do multiple times if enough people wanted to come out. But I mean, we're sure hoping that the people that find out about it and come out to listen to the concert, um, will love it and share the word on it because yeah, it will be a fun thing for people of all ages. I mean, I'm 44 and Nintendo was like my babysitter as a kid. So I'm looking forward to it on strictly a music level.
Well, if there's a big band out there, the 8-bit big band, which is devoted entirely to this music, I
Yeah.
think it bodes well for you. Where is that band located, by the way?
Man, I don't know like where they're located. I know that they have people in the band from all of that are like live in New York. I don't know
Or maybe.
like where they're based out of. No. I probably should know that, but I don't know that. I think the like the band director for that group, um his name's Charlie Rosen. And I feel like I mean, I know he went to Berkeley. Um I I
Yeah,
thought he was an LA guy, but I don't know where he lives.
I tend to think that orchestra is on the West Coast somewhere, but
It
uh,
it has West Coast vibes, like the
yeah.
music of it is very West Coast. Yeah.
So it's neat that you're finally bringing this really fun, neat, undiscovered music to Kansas City. And I think if people do give it a shot, I think there's definitely potential for concerts in the future.
Oh, I think so too. And I mean, and like we have like 12 songs, 10 songs or something like that, and it doesn't even scratch the surface. I mean, it's very like the song list is like, I mean, Nintendo, like the Me Channel, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 64, uh Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart. It's very like mainstream video game character kind of things. And if this would catch on, I mean, there's beautiful music from Minecraft, which I tried to sneak in some Minecraft because after my daughter's eighth or seventh grade band concert, we went out for ice cream, and one of the kids and his parents were there, and I went to college actually with his parents, and they were like, "Yeah, looking forward to level up," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I should have asked like." You guys have any requests? And the kid was like, yeah, how about Stall and from Minecraft and Megalovania from Undertale? And I was like, oh man. So I tried. Those were not in the plans, but I've kind of arranged that just to have because I know they're going to be in the house. Um, which is kind of unique to us. Like we can do stuff like that, and I would love to get some feedback, from younger folks. And like that was great, but could you do more Halo, or could you do like this whatever obscure thing? And to be able to take requests would be super awesome. So,
It sounds like it'd be a great thing for a parent to take, a son or daughter and their friends out for a big pizza party beforehand,
oh man,
and
totally.
and then to level up. That'd be a night to remember. I have to ask you, Clint, when you pitched this idea to the members of the band, what did they think?
Well, I mean, the band is kind of used to me at this point. They're like, yeah, whatever, sure. Because I think a big part of our identity is doing these themed concerts, but like really trying to make it, specific to our group. Um, and taking these themes that are maybe a little outside of the jazz world, but making it, you know, comfortably fit with our personalities and our musicianship, and that kind of bespoke thing is kind of our whole deal. Um, so the band was like, they're pretty down for it. They're all older than me, and when I was like, hey, does anybody want to shoot like a quick video um, we can put on our social media? Everyone was like, oh, no, maybe if we talked about Tong, and I was like, that would be great. But I didn't get any videos, from the cast of the band. So um, the board, I think they're also just kind of like, yeah, whatever, Clint, whatever you want to do. Um, but I mean, you can kind of see who grew up with video games and who didn't, and their reaction to it. So my job is to make sure that the night of music is pretty killer, and I think it will be.
I know you're starting with Mario Brothers, but maybe you could actually start with some Pong sound effects.
Well, I think if we just like we could do some staging where like we could get like a saxophone player and a trombone player at opposite ends of the stage and just go, and then like have somebody run back and forth like a ball. That would be kind of cool. I don't know if we could do that. I don't know if I could get the guys to go for that, but I could ask, I guess.
This sounds like it's going to be a blast. And again, perfect for the whole family. Get the kids and introduce them to some really high quality music making. Music a lot of them will, I'm sure, be familiar with, or they'll have a lot of fun no matter what. Again, that's Level Up, April the 5th at 7 p.m. at the Muriel Kauffman Theatre. Tickets are $14 to $80. And for tickets and more information, go to www.kcjo.org. And Clint Ashlock, the artistic director and conductor of the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, it's always fun talking to you. You always have so many neat ideas up your sleeve. And
Yeah, they haven't run out yet, thankfully. So just keep plugging.
I know you
There's a
have,
lot of music out there.
and you have one more concert coming up this season, right? Or more than one.
We have one more. Yeah, yeah. We have our The Glamour of Old Hollywood, featuring Brenda Whitaker, who's a phenomenal vocalist from here that lives out in Hollywood, in LA. So we're going to turn the Folly into, Grauman's Theater or whatever, and make a big beautiful night out of it. It should be pretty lush and pretty exciting.
Well, we look forward to talking to you about that when that concert gets closer. But in the
Yeah, yeah.
thanks a lot for taking time to talk to us about Level Up, and best of luck with that.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it a whole lot. This one is one I've had circled for many years, so it's nice to see it come to fruition.
Well, when you announced it, and I wrote about it at the beginning of your season, that it jumped out to me too as a really unique, intriguing concert. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're listening to the KC Arts Beat Report. And until next time, I'm Patrick Neas. Thanks for listening.